Good morning and welcome to another short devotional for Black Rock Baptist Church and also Morristown Baptist Church. Many people ask God to guarantee their success before they decide to obey God. That's not faith. That's not how faith works. Faith always requires a risk. Faith means you obey even when you don't understand. For example, forgiveness never seems like a good idea before you do it, but it's one of the greatest tests of your life. When someone hurts you, it might feel right, it might feel fair to not forgive that person. But forgiveness is always the right choice, regardless of whether or not you understand. Remember when you were a kid and your parents told you to do something, it didn't make a whole lot of sense as to why you would do that, but now you look back with 2020 hindsight and you understand your parents' perspective. Well, that's how God works too. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not rely on your own understanding." Faith is doing what's right even when you have questions about it. You never know the whole picture, but God knows the whole picture. The Bible gives a clear example of this in the story of Gideon in Judges chapter 7. Gideon took 300 Israelites to battle 135,000 enemy soldiers. The odds were 450 to 1. God told the soldiers to take torches and trumpets and clay pots, a command I'm sure that Gideon thought was crazy. Then God told Gideon to put the clay pots over the torches so the light could be seen at night and to surround the enemy's camp. God's instructions were something like this: when I tell you to, you blow the trumpets, break the pots, let the light torch suddenly shine out in the darkness, and it will look like a huge army is surrounding the camp. It will cause mass confusion and the enemy soldiers will end up fighting each other. Well, Gideon obeyed, even though I'm sure it didn't make a lot of sense to him. The Israelites blew their trumpets, broke their pots, revealed the light from their torches. The enemy soldiers woke up in shock and started fighting each other instead of fighting the Israelites. Because Gideon did what God told him to do, even when he didn't understand it, the Israelites won the battle. Sometimes God tells us to do something that we don't understand, like going into battle facing overwhelming odds. But when you have faith, you'll obey God even when you don't understand, even when you don't understand what he's asking you to do. Like Gideon and his soldiers, you can't live by faith without risk. But God sees the big picture. You can trust God to follow him in what he asks you to do. God bless. Have a wonderful day, and until we meet again, let's continue to exchange prayers daily.